again, sizing up Murphy, drives, floats, hangs, and scores on the turnaround. J-Dub way behind the three-point line and hits way behind the three-point line. Got blocked, what a rejection by Holmgren. Standing tall like a wall.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Uncontested Postgame Show, part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and proudly sponsored by Prairie Artisan Ales. I'm your host on this Friday night, JD Silva, joined by another Jacob. It's Jacob Niffin.
What's up?
Before we get started, Jacob, listeners, subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating if you haven't done so already. You can find us across social media and whatnot. You can also check out our Patreon by scanning this here code above my head or checking out the link in the description of this podcast. Jacob and I were at the game. It was a blast. It was a total ass beating also. Shout out to two people that we met at the game. First and foremost, Mason from Mississippi. His first Thunder game. He chose to meet us there. Very cool. Nice to meet you, Mason. And our guy, Fred Van Skeet. The man, the myth, the legend. What an honor.
It was a great night, JD. We got to meet two fans of the show. We got to watch a fun game. We got the best Nick Gallo interview ever.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And all of that maybe fails in comparison to the halftime show. My goat, Red Panda,
I
showing
tweeted
out.
that when that song turns on, she activates like the Winter Soldier.
Incredible.
I also
Incredible.
I've said a couple things about Red Panda. One being that I'm always afraid I'm going to witness her final show because she is getting up there in years.
Mm-hmm.
I was also telling Jacob on the way to the game as we were walking up, I was like, when I first saw Red Panda over a decade ago, I was like, oh, she's pretty old. She's not going to do this for much longer. Kind of like the LeBron tweet.
Yep.
And here she is 10 years later.
Still going.
Still doing it. Still doing it.
Still the same music. I want that music to be featured on like a Kendrick album. That beat goes so hard.
It does. It goes insane. All right. There was a basketball game. The Thunder won against the moribund Charlotte Hornets.
The corpse of the Hornets. The Hornets after they got sprayed with some Raid.
Yes. 141 to 106. 8 players on the Thunder scored in double figures, which I believe is the Connor said she will die atop that unicycle. And wouldn't that be beautiful?
She's going to be buried with it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
She's going to have the unicycle folded in half, buried with her in a bowl over her face.
We were told that she did not miss any bowls. It always feels really bad when she does. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to make an inappropriate analogy. Anyway, basketball game. 8 players scored in double figures. 4th time in Thunder history that has happened. They dominated this game, and it looked easy.
They didn't look like they were trying very hard.
No.
And they just smoked them. And I know how bad the Hornets are, and the Hornets weren't playing anybody. But still, like, I don't know, JD, that my biggest takeaway from this one, and maybe this shouldn't be, I don't know, it's just my biggest takeaway. It's an opinion. The 2 7-footers, the chemistry between those two, I think I posted in the Discord tonight. Those two have a hive mind. Like, they share a brain. Offensively, they just click. They find each other on, like, one of them will, like, attack or get... When Chet attacks, Hart knows exactly when to cut for Chet to hit that drop-off pass. And then Hart will run that DHO pick and roll action with Chet. And just they have a way of finding each other. They lob to each other all the time. Like, offensively, they connect so well. And then you watch them defensively and how they're starting to figure it out and how they'll cover for each other and rotate. If one rotates over, the other one immediately gets in front of the big where the other one rotated away from. Those two are just very, very connected. They look like two guys that have played basketball together for 5 years, not 15 games.
Yeah, our guy Old Wumpus in the chat said just confident in general, and I would agree. They look more and more confident every time they play together. And we know this team hasn't even been practicing because the road schedule has been so difficult. So it's just like them bonding off the court, being more comfortable with each other, playing more regular minutes with each other. I haven't checked the lineup to see like what that duo is on and off the court, but you can just see eye test wise, it is a very natural fit and they're complementing each other very well. And that is such a nice wrinkle to have in the playoffs. Like that's a difficult matchup to deal with when you're their guy who's like 7'2" in Chet or 7'3" in Chet can take guys off the dribble, and you have Ihart on the other hand who can pass as well as he can, probably the best passer on the team. Just connect all the dots for everyone around. Like easy to gush about this game for sure.
Absolutely. I'm keep talking because I'm pulling up a stat for you.
Yeah. Those two guys.
Just say words.
I just say words. I'm saying words. No, I felt bad for the Hornets because all of their good players, not going to give any compliments to Miles Bridges, all of their good players or their exciting players were out. And God bless them, they tried to attack Chet and Ihart at the rim as best they could, and they were ineffective. There was one play which the Thunder social media account tweeted out. You can go check it out, where Chet had 2 blocks on 1 possession, just bullying these dudes. Like, so difficult to match up with 2 bigs that are that skilled and work that well together. Was that enough stalling, Jacob?
Still not there.
Let's talk about our third big, whose life is getting.
All right, I found it.
Easier. All right, here we go. Almost had to talk about J. Will.
The 2 bigs have played 13 games together, 204 minutes. They have an offensive rating of 125.7. That's insane.
Pretty good.
A defensive rating of 111.5. That's a net rating of 14.2.
You'll take that.
It's pretty good. 35 offensive rebound percentage between the two of them. They rebound 58% of all misses.
Remember last year with the offensive rebounding discussion? That's
yes,
not really a thing anymore.
I would also like it to be known that the Lou Dort Alec Dukas 2-man lineup has a offensive rating of 233 and a defensive rating of 66.
That's incredible. That's
a net rating of 166.7.
Some quick maths on a Friday night.
That's a 1-minute sample size.
Oh, whenever Dukas hit a 3 at the end of the game, that's when I turned to you and said, "Let's get out of here."
That's fair. I'm going to be real honest with you. I wasn't listening to anything you said while I was looking up that stat, so I have no clue what you've talked about.
Yep.
But back to the 2 bigs again. I don't know, that just the connectivity between those two really impressed me. Their defense really impresses me. There was a play, JD, in the 3rd quarter where you and I were just cracking up because I forget who it was on the Hornets, but they were in the left corner, caught a pass, drove in, and went up for a dunk with both Chet and Hartenstein under the rim. And it's just like, brother, what do you think's going to happen here? It got rejected. Musa Diabate, who I forgot was even in the league, gets the rebound. That gets rejected, and the Thunder just get out on the break. Those two, just always having one of those two near the basket is just going to be an insane level of rim protection that they've toyed around with taking both of them off. Like tonight, they would take both of them off in favor of J. Will and Kenrich Williams. I wonder if we're going to see that in the playoffs or if one of those two will always be there. Just because you want that elite level rim protection, but J. Will has been really good too. And maybe he needs some minutes there. So there's a lot of things you could dive into in that idea, but just the 2 bigs have kind of been the big thing to me recently, and especially tonight.
Yeah. Playing highly complementary basketball. It seems like they're making J Will's like J Will is gaining confidence also. Like every game, he's just been looks really comfortable out there. He had a rough start to this season. I think we all know. Like he came off that injury, had to miss training camp, I believe, and just kind of had a rocky start for a while. But he's been able to gain confidence with getting these triple doubles, doing these no dip threes. He's clearly been in the lab with Chip. He looks like a solid backup big right now, and
He looks like the Arkansas Jokic.
Yeah, he does. Great player. And if you had asked me a couple months ago, would he play in the playoffs? I probably would have said very, very little.
Yeah, agreed. And now I think he will get minutes. Real quick, JD, I don't know if you have the box score pulled up. Do you?
I do.
Oh, do you know what the Thunder's shooting splits were tonight?
I tabbed away, so I'm not cheating. It's something ridiculous, probably like 58, 41, 90.
The free throws were bad. They
Okay.
only took 17. They shot 70% from the free throw line. A big chunk of that is Chet's 1 of 4.
Yeah.
But 57% from the field, 54% from 3.
That's absurd.
And that'll do.
They got any shot they wanted.
Yeah, another just an interesting stat. The Charlotte Hornets shot 46.3% from the field and 46.3% from 3.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then do you know how many free throws Shai took tonight? The Merchant.
The Merchant. 3? 4?
2.
Yeah.
2 free throws for the Merchant.
The Merchant who did not play in the fourth quarter or did not play very much in the fourth quarter, at least. And he
did not play in the fourth quarter at all. He ended the night with 30 minutes. A plus 31, 36-9.
Not bad. Can I be honest about the guy who stood out to me the most tonight, who made us both put our hands on our head? Kase Wallace, dude. Oh my God. It just looks more confident and under control and like he can do whatever he wants to on defense every game. And he's doing like some early Kawhi stuff on defense, just ripping the ball away from
Wow. Dude. You're not wrong. I hadn't even, everyone makes the Drew Holiday comparison. You're not wrong. That's wild.
He just like barely bumps into someone and just rips the ball away.
Yeah, it's like people like drive into him and try to like rip through, and he's just got his hands are like magnets like to the ball. Yeah. Once it gets on there, you're just you can't. He ended tonight 11, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block.
And do you want to talk about the off the backboard?
Oh my gosh,
layup.
The lefty no gather scoop layup. It was almost like a scoops floater in a way that it got really close to hitting the top, like the top of the backboard. Instead, it hit like the front of the backboard at the very top. It was wild. That's the shot. Like you're at the gym and it's like you're done shooting around for the day and you're just like slinging it up really high to see if you can get lucky and get one to drop. That's what that was.
In one game, he had a play on defense that looked exactly like something early Kawhi would do. And then on one play on offense, he did something that looks like Steph does that. It's
so you're telling me we have the baby of Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry on the team?
That's exactly what I'm saying. No, Kaysen is just
he's gonna get a bag in a year and a half, dude.
He's gonna get a bag, a well-deserved bag. Like I could see him being. I said this to you at the game. I could see him being the team's 4th best player down the road. 3 or 4 years from now. Like
I think too, not next season, but the season after, he's starting. And it's not because of injuries. It's not because of unexpectedly guys left or wanted trading. He's just going to be a starter on this team. He's just too good.
It's undeniable. It's undeniable. And all these you talked about this too, like all these on-ball reps he's getting, and other guys on the team that handle the ball, super helpful.
He moves the ball really well. He's not an insane passer by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a good passer
and willing.
Yes, and he never pounds the rock. He never stays on the ball longer than he needs to. He really wants to move the ball, get it going, get it in rotation. There's never been a play where I'm like, ooh, Kasen's forcing that. I've never felt like forced offense from him.
Never. Fun
And
question.
then, like you mentioned, he's a demon on defense. Like he is just everywhere all the time, blocking jumpers, ripping the ball away from guys, rotating out, rotating back in, just trying to fist fight dudes in the paint. He's incredible. And the thing I love the most about him was, which game was it where there was the scuffle that Lou got ejected from? What game was that?
Was it Detroit?
No, it was longer back than that. The chat will help me out.
Yeah, the chat will. I'm trying to picture the players that were in the scuffle.
Because somebody should have been tossed with Lou, but didn't get tossed.
Was it Dallas?
It was not Dallas. It was like 10 games ago, 8 games ago.
Yeah.
Smoot says the Rockets. I don't remember. Anyways, when that was happening, it was the Spurs. It was the Spurs.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Sohan.
But during that whole wrestling match, Kase Wallace was in the middle of it, just laughing like a crazy person. And I was like, oh yeah, he's got it. I wish, dude, if Usman Jang was in there laughing like a crazy person, I'd be like, all right, he's found it.
Yeah.
He's lost a couple of marbles. He's a little bit of a crazy man. Kasen's just got a little bit of that crazy in him. And that's exactly what you need. He's a dog, dude. He's an absolute dog.
You're glad. That's a guy that you're glad that he's on your team. He's like chaotic good Patrick Beverly.
You've got some wild comps for him tonight.
Would it be like lawful good Patrick Beverly?
It would definitely be lawful good Patrick Beverly.
Yeah. Good guy to have on your team. Other observations, other takeaways from it's kind of hard to have real takeaways from a game in mid-March against the Charlotte Hornets, but it was nonetheless really fun to watch.
Yeah, Kenrich Williams was really good.
Hit that buzzer beating like pull up 3 to end the half, I think.
Isaiah Joe's been great. You want to do King of the Prairie?
That's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
King of the Prairie brought to you by Prairie Artisan Ales, who we love and whose beers I will drink. Jacob will not drink.
Not because I don't like Prairie. It's just I don't drink.
Not a beer guy.
Alcohol.
Which is okay.
Not an alcohol guy.
Personally, loving the rice lager that they have in association with a restaurant that I've been going to recently that I love called Madur. It's a Lao kitchen place.
They want to sponsor the pod for the playoffs?
That would be unbelievable. But yeah, their rice lager is excellent. Other beers in general are good. They have trivia that's very fun. Keep an eye out for a watch party down the road too as the playoffs approach.
Absolutely.
Who's your King of the Prairie?
It's really hard not to go with Shai.
I know.
It's really hard not to go with Shai. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal, 13 of 18 from the field. Just continues the MVP push. We were talking at the game. It's not a push. I think it's completely wrapped up. I don't know what that comment means. It's the MVP race is wrapped up, and Shai's just putting up silly numbers now. I'm going Shai as my King of the Prairie. What about you, Silva?
Hard to fault you on that one. If I had to give a Prince of the Prairie, King Jr., I'd probably go Kasen just because I had a really good time watching him.
Okay. If I had to go Prince of the Prairie, I think I would go Chet. 14 points on 50%. He was 50, 25. 25% from the line is awful. If he hits his free throws, he's at 17, and the line is much more impressive. But 14 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and 3 blocks in only 28 minutes. So you extrapolate that out to like the 36-minute, and it's really impressive. And also, Chet just had some of my favorite celebrations of the night. Isaiah Joe had the crazy pump fake, sent Miles Bridges flying. splash the three, and Chet's over there like shooting him with the 3 guns before he even pulls up. Just acting a fool. There are a bunch of goons over there on the bench, and it's a blast to watch.
He did the big balls celebration.
Yeah.
When I think Jay Will hit a 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was a J Will dunk, but yeah.
Yeah. Chet, you can tell Chet is just having fun right now.
They're all having fun, dude.
Like trying to connect on a ton of crazy passes with iHeart. You can tell he is having a lot of fun trying to figure that out.
Well, and we talked about that tonight. Is like there is a certain level where the diming and the ball movement becomes infectious. Like a lot of times it's like one guy makes the pass and the next guy shoots. But there were plays tonight where it was like one guy kind of throws an over the head pass, the other guy catches and swings it to the corner, and then it pings around and gets back inside. Like when they get in that mode, it looks like the San Antonio Spurs like beautiful ball, you know?
Yeah. And it's nice that the Thunder are a lot of important guys are hurt right now on the Thunder, and they have not lost a step at all. And compare that to a team, and I don't know if how much I take from this, but Cleveland has lost 3 in a row, and they're currently losing by almost 20 to the Suns.
Oh,
Like you'd rather have March basketball doesn't usually matter, but this is going to help the Thunder get the first overall seed, period, in the NBA. And they're maintaining that rhythm, that confidence that they've had for so long. Really nice to see. Hey, did you have a J. Will like running skyhook on your bingo card for this game?
Oh, he got fouled on it, but no.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
No. Anything else from this game?
Not that I can think of.
Can't milk this almond anymore.
Can't milk this almond.
Chat, how do you milk an almond? I'll play the outro music. You guys can answer that question.
Smoot, we mentioned the Gallo interview at the beginning of the pod, but the Gallo interview, absolutely incredible. May need a shirt.
May need a shirt. Got to figure it out.
Yeah, if you have shirt ideas, hit us up too, because we need some playoff merch for y'all, and Justin needs some inspiration.
Yes. Connor says you got to get it warmed up first.
All right, turn this off.
We got to get out of here. We'll be back on Sunday with our regular show. Thanks again for listening, whether it be live, hanging out with us in the chat, or afterwards. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Fred Van Skeet.
Freddie.
Freddie. All right. See you next time. Adios and Thunder up.